supervisor said he didn't want me in the strip club, I was like, well, I don't think they're wrong with going to the strip club.
Strike that from the record.
No, it stays on the record. Yeah. The audience needs to know how much of a bastard you are.
It ain't no sin to go to the strip club, you know. I was just being rebellious.
So, episode 2.
Yo.
Yeah, we're finally getting to episode 2. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty last time, so...
But it wasn't as bad as the Texans' technical difficulty when they played Minnesota last Friday.
Oh...
Half the game was literally scrambled.
What?
Half the game was literally scrambled.
Okay.
Their preseason game in Minnesota.
Why are they scrambling so early?
It was like they aired the first quarter.
Oh, the picture was scrambled.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, half of the second quarter, it just went... Blah, 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 and then they had to put up the technical difficulty sign. Pretty much. And they had to go to like the radio broadcast on TV. And then that was all the way to the half.
They put the radio broadcast on TV?
Pretty much.
They didn't have a fail-safe?
It was bad.
Wow, that's awful.
And the sad part is that their announcing team isn't even that good either.
You call yourself professionals?
The guy can't even pronounce the players' names right. Ooh. And he just sounds horrible. It's bad. It was an embarrassment. It really was. That
does sound very embarrassing.
At least the Texans won, but it was an embarrassment.
How well did they do?
Special teams still a concern. This is the Ugo Sports Minute brought to you by Ugo.
Okay.
And, if I were to go to watch the game, I might go down to Glitter Karaoke. They got some good eats there. Just some
yeah. Yeah, Glitter Karaoke is a good place to be.
This is one of the places I might go on a Sunday afternoon to go watch the Texans game. But
you might do that, except for they're not really open on Sundays.
Well, if they were.
Well, the days that they are open is Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 2.
Where's that located again?
Oh, that's on 2621 Milam Street, Suite A.
Huh.
Houston, Texas.
Sounds like a groovy place to go.
It does sound like a groovy place to go. But anyway.
If I was... to watch them. Their special teams is still a concern. I don't know how the special teams coach still has a job. It was pretty bad. But everything else seemed pretty okay. Just the special teams coach really worries me.
Okay.
Special teams.
Well, we're not talking about that.
No, we are not.
We're sticking on to our guns. We told you we had a lot of stuff to get to, and by golly, we're going to get to it.
Yippers.
So we have 2 shows worth of stuff that we're going to try to cram into one show.
Yes.
And for those of you just tuning in, this is the Script Club, Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Brand new format.
The streamlined.
The streamlined format, which we are not streamlined at all right now. So let's just get into it.
Let's get into it. The first topic we had here, again, we said we're going to go over the things we missed while we were gone. And one of the things that happened right after we left, the Boston bombing.
Boston bombing.
On tax day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine. He actually lives in Boston, and his wife was running the marathon at the time.
Whoa, was she?
She's just a couple blocks away.
A couple blocks away.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But real quick, thoughts? Your thoughts on it, Tony?
My thoughts on it? It's one of those things that had to happen eventually. You can't stop everybody.
True.
And we were wondering what it was going to be, and just thank God it wasn't as bigger than it wasn't as big as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just something that's going to happen. These things are going to happen. We can't live in a brave new world. So.
Yeah, and it's like it's been happening even before 7/11. It's just hit home now,
right?
Kind of thing. I mean, it's been happening all the time in the Middle East and over in Eastern Europe and things like that. It's hit home now,
right?
Kind of thing. And then the whole chase afterwards. I mean, that was insane.
That's ridiculous.
That was it's like. I don't know, like he killed his brother killed a cop, and then his brother got shot and died, and
his brother did like one of those high noon fights and stuff in the middle of the street with grenades, and
then he was found hiding in a boat.
And he ran over his brother while he's trying to get away. It's like what happens in a Hollywood movie.
It's pretty much, and after all this is said and done, we're going to be having those based on true stories coming out of this whole thing happening here.
Yes,
Speaking of, media and Hollywood true story, what do you think about Rolling Stone putting him on the cover?
I think that was in totally poor taste.
Yeah, I mean, does that? It's just free speech. I'm all for it, of course, but again, there's consequences for said actions, and there's going to be a consequence for them doing that. So, I mean,
I wouldn't have done that as a magazine. I wouldn't have done that.
I know. There's so many other things you could do. Just do that. It's just in poor taste.
Yeah.
But not only did the Boston bombing happen, that was a bad week.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally the next day or 2 days afterwards, West Texas pretty much blew up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The West Texas explosion.
That huge explosion at a fertilizer factory.
And I hear that was all because of people cutting corners and not doing what they're supposed to.
Pretty much. It was like too much of the active chemical in the fertilizer was in one place.
Yeah, it's supposed to say like they're only supposed to keep like 10 pounds of it in one place, and they have like
500,
500,000 million pounds.
Yeah,
like grossly breaking the rules.
Did you see the video of that?
Yes, I did.
Man,
where the person just has the.
He was like, "Dad, look at that!" You're just like, just a flash of light. You're like, holy!
I can't hear, Dad. I can't hear.
It was intense.
That was insane. I couldn't believe that.
I mean. I think they
had like firemen inside at the time.
Oh yeah, they had the initial explosion, and they had firemen and rescuers going, and then exploded again.
Yeah, the big one.
And you're just like, whoa, hell, this is not a good week.
which is very scary. I've got two of my family members are firemen. Actually, I come from a long line of firemen.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh,
uncles are firemen. My grandfather was a fireman.
Do they make those fireman posters? You know, with the suspenders and the axe and the pants. Those, Mr. September.
Oh, they're not exactly in fireman shape.
I see, but they can get the job done.
Yeah, they get the job done.
They get the job done.
Yeah.
So there's that. And more, I guess. I don't know about you, Tony, but I'm a believer.
I'm a believer too.
Are you a believer?
I'm a believer too.
Our Justin Bieber and the whole Justin Bieber Keyshawn Martin thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Bieber's a dick.
Yes. Really. I'm all in on this Justin Bieber thing now. Like not even like faking it. Like I'm totally in with Justin Bieber. As long as he's doing horrible things to people and just squandering his goodwill.
It's like half of a good story would be like, okay, Justin Bieber is speeding around his neighborhood in Florida in his Lamborghini. That's funny, and his neighbor's getting mad.
Yeah.
But the coup de grace of the whole thing was his neighbor being Keyshawn Johnson.
Right?
Literally, Justin Bieber speeding around his neighborhood. Keyshawn is driving his kids home in a minivan.
Yelling at Bieber to be responsible now.
Bieber pulls up in his driveway and runs into his house. You see Keyshawn banging on his door and saying, "Come out of here! You can't be speeding like that." It's just
at my house where my family sleeps, where my children pay for their toys.
I'll pay homeowner fees. I'll pay good money to stay in this neighborhood for your little ass to be speeding around here. So Justin's a bad streak. Not to mention all those other things he did with Selena Gomez and all this other stuff. And
I'm totally all in with this Bieber. I'm totally all in with Bieber.
Yeah,
he's turned me. This is what in WWE what they would call a heel turn. He's a bad guy now, and I love it.
Yeah, he is a bad guy. So we're just waiting. We're waiting on bated breath to see what Justin's going to do next.
I'm all in. I'm going to get a Justin Bieber shirt. I'm going to get a Justin Bieber shirt and wear it non-ironically. Like I love this dude now.
And if he does this, I will take a picture. We will post this on the site. We will post this.
Yeah, we'll do it
in a Justin Bieber T-shirt. I mean, oh god.
Okay, what else?
Another news, people be having babies. People be having babies. We have Kanye and Kim K. They had their kid.
The real royal baby.
The American, the baby America cares about. The child they called Northwest.
They named
the child North. Now, when I first heard this name, what is the first thing that popped into your head?
The Elijah Wood movie.
Exactly. I said, they named the kid after Elijah Wood? The first thing that popped in my head was the poster where he's on the globe and he's walking and it just says North. That's the first thing that popped into my head. And then I realized, last name is West, Northwest. Really? And it's a girl.
Really?
It's a girl. Like it's
North is such a male name.
It's like North.
I guess it's because I watched
their middle name is something else, like North something West. But yeah, they basically named
North
the child
by North.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. Like, if they were to, like, the middle name were to be like
By North.
by North or something like that, North by Northwest. See, that would be
That would be
see,
clever.
that would be an homage to Hitchcock, and it would scar your child for life.
See, it would cease to be a scarring thing, and then it would be hipster chic, I guess.
It would be hipster chic, but if you name your child North by Northwest, you have to make him a Hitchcock like expert. You have to.
Well, yeah,
You have to. You know Kanye won't.
of course.
And
Kanye
Kim
doesn't.
won't.
Kanye thinks Hitchcock is a
Kanye
sexual
thinks-
position.
Kanye thinks he's Hitchcock, and if he were Hitchcock, he would have made everything better. He would have made the birds cooler and what the kids want these days. Because if it was written in the Bible, he would have made birds. What?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're saying.
Do we know what Kanye's saying when he talks?
I'm
talking like Kanye.
Touche.
Pretty much. It's just that. And then there's that royal baby. And then there's apparently something happened in the UK where
Some
what's
other
his name?
child was born.
Some
Who
other
cares?
child was born, and apparently everyone. Why is everyone losing their shit over this?
I
Do
don't
you
know,
know?
because what's his name? Prince Harry was skipped over. He was skipped over. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
I just like it's like it'd be. I would understand if a president would have a child. I would get that because like okay, the president actually has authority, but like you're like the prince, you're like second in line. You have your child, which is now third in line, and you have no political power in England. Like I won't say political power, but you have no authority. You're a figurehead monarch.
Yeah.
So why would we care so much? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know.
I don't get it.
It's just like I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think of some comparable celebrity that we have that's just as big and
Like
important.
Kanye and Kim Kardashian?
No, but they're not as comparable. I guess it would be more like when Beyonce announced that she had bought a child.
Wait, she had a child, Tony.
Right. Okay.
But she was pregnant and everything.
Yeah, all right.
No.
Yeah. All right.
So Tony, you're telling me if we were to do a DNA test of this child, it would be inconclusive? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying.
Wait, before you.
I'm saying Beyonce better not ever need a kidney.
Oh, no. Look, this is wild accusations out there, Tony. I mean, you're making a wild accusation.
I'm
my
not
friend.
making that wild accusation. I know the truth, man. I'm telling you, that woman better not ever need a kidney.
You say it's not Jay-Z's baby?
It's okay. It could be Kelly Rowland's baby.
Wow.
That's the
Tony.
That's as far as I'll go.
Tony. Well, she did bring him back for a reason. Maybe the Super Bowl thing was just a cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a cover.
she got to pay. She got to pay. She got to pay for
I
that
literally,
baby.
like, if you have my
You
child,
pay
I'll-
the baby. Pay for the baby with this.
If you have my child, I will let you perform beside me in the Super Bowl. And she said, deal.
No, she said, I want to be in the Super Bowl. So I wanted to do it myself. Nope.
Yeah, well, just...
Not Kelly Rowland, but what's her name? What's her sister's name? Is that her sister's
Oh, her
name?
sister already has like 8 kids. Maybe she took one of those.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Solange?
so. There you go.
Yeah, she maybe took one of Solange's kids.
Yeah.
So if they do DNA testing, it might maybe work if it's her sister.
Yeah.
No.
But it's not Jay-Z's kid.
Why hate on Beyonce, dude? She's from H-Town. She's from our hood. Why you gonna hate on Beyonce?
I have so much hate for Beyonce.
I don't hate
Now
her.
everyone's talking about how she cut her hair. It's like, call me when she cuts her neck.
The reason she cut her hair is because it got
I'm
caught
sorry,
in
that
the
was
fan.
awful.
It's Tony. Over the line! Where the hell
Mark
did
at
that come
0.
from? Where did that come from?
Sorry, I don't know where that came from. That was awful.
Wow, that is subconscious hate there.
It was terrible.
I
I'm
don't-
sorry. I feel bad for myself.
Let's
move on.
I don't hate Beyonce. I
Let's
just
move on.
don't care. Just apathy. Next one here is, oh man, the video making the rounds, even though we're 2 weeks past it. The troll lady, aka the rhubarb lady. Have you seen this video, Tony?
What?
You haven't seen the rhubarb lady?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is it like was it the Joker and
No,
Batman
oh,
'89?
man. Oh,
Never
man.
rub another man's
We're gonna
rhubarb.
play this. We're gonna play this right now. I don't know if you want to pause it while you look at this, and we'll come back and get your reaction, or you want to do that, or you want to do this live. We listen to the rhubarb.
How long is the video?
It's like 2 minutes long.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, here we go. First
Cue it
one.
up and run it real fast.
Rhubarb Lady. All right, you got to see this. Okay. Tony's watching this. Rhubarb Lady, click. Now, I'm guessing all of you have seen the Rhubarb Lady and what she does, and apparently she's a troll under a bridge.
Why is this popular?
Well, it's because she's talking to a troll. That's why.
Oh, is that it?
She's talking to a troll, man.
Yeah, she does have a very troll-like voice.
Troll. She is a troll. Look at her.
Well, where's her bridge?
Well, I think she came out of the bridge to get some rhubarb, which apparently isn't hers.
What's the rule?
Maybe what's the rule?
You know the rule about rhubarb.
Got to make it to a pie?
Nah.
I don't know said rule.
You never rub another man's rhubarb.
Well,
Jack Nicholson taught us that.
Well, apparently that is another man's rhubarb. I don't know what just craziness, man. It was hilarious.
She's breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that was it.
Yeah. Well,
was that it?
That is, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. So we actually have submissions from our fellow Script Club members.
Yeah. Now, last week, you posed a question.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's 2 weeks ago now. We posed a question, what was a movie that changed your life?
Yes.
And surprisingly, 2 of our answers came back Gattaca.
2? I thought it was just 1.
No, I asked the question of a couple more people, and
Okay.
But I got Gattaca again.
Yeah. Our longtime listener, Cindy, allegedly, said one of the movies that just changed her perception on the way she just thought about it. Because my question was, when I put out the question was, because I'd just seen Fruitvale Station. And after seeing the movie, it was a great movie. And after seeing the movie, I just thought to myself, like, man, this just maybe just changed the way I think about certain things. And I was just like, what are those movies that you've ever watched that just you just changed the way you think about things? And Cindy said that hers was Gattaca, and she said the reason for Gattaca is because she didn't think that. Let me pull it up before I say anything. But she said that she didn't think racism was a she didn't think that much of it, but then she saw Gattaca, and then there was a scene in the movie where
they choose all the features of the kid before he's born.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then that's when Cindy was like, wow, it just really hit her with that one, and I was like, oh, yeah. Where is and another one was what was the other one? I'm trying to pull it up right here. Here we go. One for our other listener, Jared Tatum. He said his was Dr. Strangelove. And until he saw that movie, he didn't understand the gravity of nuclear warfare and nuclear weapons.
Well, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other movies about nuclear warfare, but I suppose that's a really important one.
Yeah, that one just hit home with him with that one.
That hit home with a lot of people. They liked it because of its comedic elements, but there's a lot of truth in that. Talking about the power of a nuclear weapon.
There's a reason why we've only used it twice.
Yeah,
in populated areas. It's kind of like one of those like things where kids like, I got to do it too. I got to oh,
that was
put it
bad.
Down, and you walk away.
Exactly.
But you don't throw it away though, because it's just a
you
little
don't throw
too
it
cool.
Away.
But
you don't throw it away. You put it on a shelf though.
You're like,
to remind you.
But I don't think I should. What did you say that was the movie that just changed the way you just thought?
Men in Black was one of them. Mm-hmm. Used to be an ADHD kid.
Used to be.
Well, yeah, I still am. It's not like I have a whole lot of the hyperactivity, but the way the concentration deal.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal for me. So when I saw Men in Black, I really loved Tommy Lee Jones's character and how he was able just to be cold and calculated all the time. And it's funny to me, and also I kind of admired him for being able to do that. And I would channel that character whenever I really needed to get some work done. And so I guess that was a helpful thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of movies that changed my life. Went through my rebellious young man stage in college, and Fight Club was one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, summer of '99, huh?
Yeah,
or the year of '99, I guess.
Also, another movie that was really good for that. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, that was just crazy.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Just kind of. Just Johnny Depp being Hunter Thompson and doing all the crazy things that Hunter did, and it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I mean, and just the way they reference back to it, and just this wasn't a movie that changed the way I thought, but just when you said Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing, like with Rango, and they just brought that one scene they had in Rango, just like, oh, it's just great, you know?
Yeah.
With me, like I said, with me, it was Fruitvale Station. It was just one of those.
That's a pretty recent movie, though.
Yeah, Fruitvale Station. Yeah, it just
came out.
It came out like on the 26th of July. So
what is that one that really really just changed your life?
It changed the way I thought about certain things. Like it changed the way I thought about certain people.
Yeah,
and how I knew everyone had problems. But it's just like how similar we are, even though we think we're different,
right?
Kind of thing.
And
although in this movie they might have painted the protagonist a bit too good, but at the same time, it wasn't him. It was like what was going on around him in his family life, and what he was going through, and the ups and downs and things like that, and how we all have problems,
right?
And how we deal with it are pretty much somewhat the same. Considering to other people,
right?
Like you may think like, oh, that guy over there, he's a billionaire. He doesn't have the problems I do, and he might not, but he kind of might deal with it the same way you do. You just don't know,
right?
So it's kind of like you should never judge a book by its cover, but you should really, really like in depth get to know really what's going on before you can say one thing or another about a person or a group.
Yeah,
that's kind of when I got away from that one. With that,
did you like Crash? When you saw it?
Yeah, I liked Crash when it came out.
Okay. Because I haven't seen the Fruitvale Station, and I don't know. It's hurting me a little bit too much. I don't know. It's gonna be a while before I see it.
Ooh, try not to see any authority figures afterwards.
Because
it's
I just have. I don't know. I get too wound up in this.
Understandable. And it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where you wonder why the minority community doesn't like authority.
Well, you don't wonder why.
Not like that's what I mean. You don't like you. No, it's just like a
for people.
Question.
If you wonder why,
if you wonder why, you're just like, why do they don't like the police officers so much? Well, that's why. And I just told you the other day about what happened in Galveston.
Oh,
Did you ever see that?
I didn't see it.
Man, it was all over the news, man.
I can't. I can't.
It happens every day, and the guys, they're still working. They didn't get suspended. They're still on the beat.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So it's kind of like
that's what happens. I mean, I hear that when people get suspended, they're like very rarely are they ever suspended without pay.
Oh no,
they just go home until this blows over and then come back.
Sometimes they're given a medal.
Yeah,
they're given accommodations for it.
Yeah,
you're sitting there like, really?
Yeah, man.
It's just anyway. Well, our next question comes from our member Jared H. Tatum. Remember how our last podcast we talked about the summer. What we liked, what we didn't like.
Right.
Just run through the movies. He asked here, he said there was an article that he saw where on this summer alone, audience are not into movies that are from original ideas. This is based on movie sales, for example, sequels like Iron Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness, or high-grossing films opening weekend, but his movies from Pacific Rim and Turbo struggled to get any earnings. He would like to know if you guys think these are the dying days of original thought when it comes to blockbuster films, or will it be a resurgence of originality due to lackluster box office and poorly reviewed films this summer?
Now, I will say this. It is less the death is less because of originality, that people don't like original ideas, and it's more because we're in the dog days of summer. Because in the beginning of summer, you have big movies that have a lot of hype going on behind them, like Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3 is just coming right off of the Avengers, so everyone's excited to see what happens to Tony Stark next. And Robert Downey Jr. is a wonderful character, and his character is iconic. He's done with Tony Stark, and what was the other movie that he mentioned?
Star Trek Into
Darkness, another movie that everyone's been clamoring for. Wanted to see what J.J. Abrams does next because he did such a good job with this last movie. A lot of that thing has a lot of that hype going into it. Plus, at the same time, it's just becoming summer. A lot of people are anxious to get to see a summer movie, but other movies like Turbo and Pacific Rim, those didn't do as well, not because they were just original ideas, it was because we're kind of late in the summer. This is about the time when people start going on their vacations. This is we're past the big excitement movie thing. We're into vacations, we're into summer school, all that stuff. So things are a little bit different. The environment, just the timing is a little bit different. And also the marketing is different as well, because you didn't see nearly as much marketing for Pacific Rim or Turbo as you saw with Star Trek or Iron Man. I mean, they didn't have a 7-Up, not a 7-Up, but a 7-Eleven Super Straw or Slurpee or anything like that. So it's just a difference in marketing, and also the timing is different.
I will say this. Everything Tony says is right. It's the fatigue of summer. And we saw this a few years ago, and it started happening a lot more frequently now, is the cannibalization of films.
Right.
When you come out with not one but two blockbusters every week,
right,
people are just not going to keep up. And
Yeah.
it's not just that they're not going to keep up. They're saying, like, wow, I've seen so many explosions this summer. Let me get a break.
Right.
And they honestly really didn't get a break from that,
It's true.
Especially after after Man of Steel, with all the destruction you saw in that, it's kind of like after that you're like, well, hell,
Like, well, what else is there? Well,
Yeah,
we still
what
got
else
Two Guns. Well, we still got Pacific Rim.
Exactly. You still have that. You still have the Wolverine. You
Still have the Elysium.
You still have Elysium and things like that. Well, unfortunately, this is Money Hugo. This is Business Hugo talking. The movie making business is just that. It's a business. And the studios, it's odd that they're looking at overall gross for a movie, which they should.
Right.
But they should also look at profit margins.
Profit margin and return on investment.
Profit margin, return on investment. Because if we look at this now, Iron Man 3 cost $200 million in production budget. So we're going to say Iron Man cost like $300 million just to make, because $100 million into marketing and all that.
Right.
It made $1 billion.
Uh-huh.
And although we see a lot of movies with the big blockbusters, there are so many movies that failed this summer.
Right.
White House Down.
Uh-huh.
The
Lone Ranger.
Or Lone Ranger. Oh, God, Lone Ranger. White House Down, Lone Ranger, Turbo. These are like over $200 million budgets. But I saw an article on Yahoo the other day where it said winners and losers of the summer by profit margin. Do you know what the number one movie was this summer with profit margin?
What's that? The horror movie. The scary movie.
The Purge.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It cost $7 million to make.
Because there's nothing in it.
Do you know how much it made, though?
50, 60
No,
million
I'm sorry. It cost $3 million to make.
Okay, $3 million to make.
It made $81 million worldwide.
Wow.
And they were already talking about sequel.
Wow.
$81 million. So I think Honestly, I think because they were also talking about this, like how Disney had the Lone Ranger bust, and they had John Carter last year. And they said if it's once every year, they can deal with that.
Right.
But sooner or later, if you play the odds, you're going to have like 2-3 busts in a row.
Right.
And they're talking about studios. They don't think studios could take the brunt of 2-3 busts in a row. So what I'm saying is this model of making $200 or $250 million movies isn't going to work. You have to either A, go to people and say, look, we got to look to make this under $1 million, or B, find something with a really good story. Because there are a lot of things out there with good stories that just never make it to post-production or final production, and then get the huge profit margins from there. Like, that's how Lionsgate became a major studio. They made all those Saw movies.
That's true.
They made Twilight for a song. It wasn't until like the later Twilight movies they started getting to like the $100 million range.
And that's because they had to start paying people.
Exactly. So, I mean, if I had it my way, which they kind of do, let you have your big blockbuster tentpole movies, your $100 million, $200 million movies. But with all those profits that you make, hopefully from those, make some movies that are different, that are inspiring, that are, that's something out of left field.
Right.
Most of the time those are the Oscar movies, but maybe something like, this is a crazy idea. We just made $1 billion from Iron Man. You know what? Hell, let's throw this movie $10 million, see what they can do.
Yeah, that's what they did with This Is the End. They made that for like $10 million.
And how many great movies have you seen that are made because they're on a budget? Look at District 9.
District 9 made. District 9. Yeah, they made it with. I think with a budget on that one was like maybe $30 million.
It was something like that, and because Neil Blomkamp, who made District 9, he said that because he was supposed to make the Peter Jackson came in and said, "Look, I want to make a Halo movie."
Right.
And he said, "Okay, I'll make it." And they started making the Halo movie, and the thing fell apart. And he said that was one of the greatest things that ever happened to him.
Right.
Because it fell apart, he went to go do District 9. And District 9 was a huge, not only financial, but a critical hit as well.
Right.
And because of District 9, he went on to do this Elysium movie. And basically he says, he was even approached to do Star Wars. And he said, no, I want to do my own movies, and I don't need this huge balloon budget to do it. And honestly, if I'm a studio head, I want to find the directors that say, listen, it's not that I don't, well, actually, no, I don't want to spend huge amounts of money just to make this. I know it is possible to get huge amounts of money without me spending $150 million on another big explosion fest.
That's true.
If I have an intriguing, so look at Now You See Me.
Now You See Me.
You See Me. That was actually until the end. That was a very intriguing story.
Yes, it was.
It was a very intriguing story, and it made a lot of money. So much money, they're going to make a sequel to it. Nah, I don't know.
Okay.
What they're going to do, but if you find an intriguing story and you market it the right way,
right,
people will come. I guarantee you. I don't understand why the studios don't get this. And you used to think kids movies were just automatic money makers. Not anymore.
Well, here's the deal. What they want to do is they want to throw out their movies that they think will make the most at the beginning of the summer, because that's where most of the money is.
Yeah.
And then they do the things that are not necessarily a sure bet later in the summer when there's not as much money to be got, but at the same time it kind of gives a bad stigma to these other movies who are lesser. So they say, well, it didn't make as much money as Iron Man. Well, yeah, you put it in the wrong spot.
You put it in the wrong spot. And also not to mention, there are 12 months in a year.
Yeah.
You could easily put something in September where nothing comes out.
Right.
September is usually a dead month.
Yeah, so you just dead month.
January is usually a dead month too, and they're finally getting that because I've been seeing these posters for the Seventh Son or whatever.
Yeah,
that's coming out in January.
January, February. It's becoming a new deal.
Yeah,
it's a dead deal.
March is becoming the new big month to release things. That's when the Hunger Games came out and the Cruise and all that. So there are other months in the year to release things, guys. Spread it out. I know it's the summer because people are home and things like that, but I guarantee you, if your movie is good, people will come and see it.
Yeah,
they will. It might not make record-breaking weekend, but it will have staying power.
Right.
Because it's better for a movie to have staying power than one to have a record rate. If you can stay in the top 5 for 6 or 7 weeks, it's better for you to be number 1 than drop all the way down.
Right.
It's so much better to have that staying power. So, studios, if you're listening, because we all know you listen to the Script Club.
Well, if you don't, you should.
You should. Maybe that PA that's, getting you coffee, go tell your boss to go listen to the Script Club. They have some good advice. Spread that shit out, man. Spread it out and look at profit margins. I'm not saying don't make any more $20 million movies, but I am saying like for example, Lone Ranger. No one's asking for a Lone Ranger movie.
No one was asking for a
Who asked
Lone
for
Ranger.
movie.
And they spent a lot of money on there.
And
But when you look at a movie like that compared to a movie like District 9, look at District 9. District 9 spent $30 million.
Spent $30 million, made 210 worldwide.
Yeah, because they didn't have a huge budget. They had to. I think it's because they didn't have a huge budget. They had to be creative.
They had to be very creative with that stuff,
and do some things that they didn't necessarily want to do, but had no choice to.
and also be smart with stuff like this, studios. Don't make a sequel unless we're asking for one. Just because the first movie made a lot of money doesn't mean you should make a sequel.
Well, I mean, as far as the money
Smurfs
goes.
2. No one was asking for Smurfs 2. The reason the first Smurfs succeeded is because at that time, remember like a few years ago where like the Smurfs had a resurgence kind of thing? It was like hip to look at the Smurfs and all that. When the first one came out, I remember that.
Oh, yeah?
No one asked for a second one, and the way you ended the first one, there's really no for the second one, and now you're paying for it now because no one's seeing that shit.
That's true.
So...
That's true. They're kind of making movies for the idea of making sequels to them.
Yeah, they're making movies, the ideas of making sequels to them.
Versus pushing good movies and then hopefully building a new franchise.
Building a new franchise off of that kind of thing. Because it happens.
Right.
It really does. So,
it really does.
Thanks, Jared, for the question. Really great question. If you have any more thoughts on it, or if you have any other or more questions, please come to our Facebook site, The Script Club. Leave some questions there. Leave some comments. Or you can, that's a main place. Or you can get at us at Twitter, script_club. Get us at Twitter. And one more thing, we're trying something out here. There's something called payday rentals.
Payday rentals.
So what we're gonna do, since we all get paid on the 1st and the 15th of the month.
That's true.
On the 1st and the 15th of every month, we're gonna have something at Redbox. We're gonna watch it. Maybe it was probably not one of those big theater release reviews or something we just fell through the cracks. We're going to watch it, and you're going to say skip it, rent it, or buy it.
And we're just going to have the rundown. We're just going to go talk about it relentlessly.
Yeah.
We're going to spoil everything in the movie.
Pretty much.
So.
I don't think it depends what the movie is, but.
Okay, well, we're going to tell you what it is beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys are going to know what's going to happen beforehand.
Yeah.
And then
because we already have one set up for the 15th.
Set up for the 15th.
I got one set up for the 15th. I'm going to tell you, skip it, rent it, or buy it.
Yeah, we're gonna tell Skip. We're gonna have the movie up there. Then we're gonna say skip it, rent it, or buy it, and then we're gonna have a discussion underneath in the comment section on the Facebook page.
We'll totally do that. So, you got anything else for us, Sony?
Well, let's tell what the first movie is going to be.
What's the first movie on the 15th, which will be this Thursday. It's coming up this Thursday. Is Stand Up Guys.
Stand Up Guys.
That's with Christopher Walken, De Niro, and Alan Arkin's in this movie.
Oh yeah, Alan Arkin.
Yeah. So that's what will be on the 15th.
I hear Bill Burr's in it as well. Funny comedian.
Yeah, he is for like a split second.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that'll be on the 15th. All right then, y'all. So. Until then, we will see you next.
Did we have another question?
That's, I think those are 2 questions.
Yeah, you're right.
It's 2 questions. If you, like I said, more questions, come to the website, post it on the website, get us at Twitter. And like I said, if you go on the website, if you bug Tony, he will buy that Bieber t-shirt and he will wear it. We will post that picture.
You don't need to bug me. I'm going to look for a Bieber t-shirt in a 2XL. It's going to be hard to find, I think.
And he will be a believer.
I am a believer.
But until then, we will see y'all next week.
All right, then.
Keep being rebellion.